Are you ready for your word problem of today? Go ahead and get your whiteboards or paper set up. We're going to set our problem up just like we've been doing. Today we're going to just be looking at different words to help us figure out whether we're adding or subtracting. So let's get started. So today here is our word problem. Bentley had 12 colored pencils in his bag and 6 regular pencils in his desk. How many pencils did he have? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to set up our problem and then we're going to write the word cubs like we've been doing for the past couple of days. Because what it's going to do is it's going to help draw out important information in our word problem. So let's circle our numbers. So we know he had 12 colored pencils and he had 6 regular pencils. So we can go ahead and cross off our C. Now, what is the important word that's going to help us here? I've been telling you that your important word is going to be in your question. So the question is, how many pencils did he have? Now, it didn't give us the word in all, it didn't use the word altogether, it didn't use the word more. So, what is it that we're looking for? Well, this word here, pencils, tells us that we need to include both colored pencils and regular pencils. So if we're looking for both, then that means that we're going to be adding because we have to take the colored pencils, which is one part, and the regular pencils, which is another part. We need to put them together to find out how many pencils we have all together. So we can go ahead and cross out the U. Then I'm just going to box the question, and again, that's that sentence with the capital and the question mark. And now we're ready to solve our problem. So we said that he had 12 colored pencils. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw myself 12, and so are you. Go ahead and do it using the 10 frame way. And we're going to make sure that everything's lined up nice and neat. 5 on top, 5 on the bottom for the 10 frame. The extra 2 go on the outside. Okay? Now, I need to draw 6 more because I need to draw the regular pencils that he had. Now, remember, we're not just going to scatter them all around. We're going to treat it as if there's another 10 frame on the outside. But remember, I can only do 5 on the top. And you're going to use X's this time. 1, 2, 3, that gives me my 5, 4, 5, 6. So, what do we have? We have 10 inside my 10 frame. And how many do I have now? Well, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you should be getting pretty good at this point at looking at it like this. If I drew my box around it, you should clearly see that we have 2 empty spots. So that means that if I look at that, I should automatically see the number 8. Okay? So 10 plus 8 or 10, 8 is 18. And we can go ahead and put 18 here. Now, we need to stop and think what we're looking at. We're looking at the number of pencils. That's what we're trying to find out. So we're going to put a P here for pencils. We had some colored pencils and we had some regular pencils. So I've got myself labeled. Now we need to fill in our blanks. We know we have our 2 parts. Our 2 parts are down here. The colored pencils, there were 12 of, and then there were 6 regular pencils. So what we're going to do is we're going to punch 12 and count up 6. So we have 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I come up with 18 pencils, and guess what? It matches what I have up above. Okay? Now, let's do our number sentence. Let's refer back to our picture. What did I draw first? Well, I drew 12 circles first. Then, I added 6 to it. Okay? So now I need to come up with my answer. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down my 12. We need to break it into 10s and 1s. So what does 12 break down to? You've got it, 10, 2. So we're going to break this down, 10, 2. My question to you is this. Why did I put the 2 closest to that 6? Why did I do that? That's right, because they're 1s, right? And it's going to be easier for us to add. So I'm going to circle that. So 6 plus 2 equals 8. And now I'm going to bring this 8 down. 8 plus the number I didn't use is 10. And I get my total of 18. And again, I'm going to put a box around it, which reminds me to put it here. Okay? You're with me? Now we have to make our statement, which is to answer the question. How many pencils did he have? So we're going to say he had 18. Put a box around it to remind yourself, and then pencils. And what we're going to do is put that in the middle. We want to make sure that all of our numbers match, and then we can go ahead and cross off the S. Again, this is a complete problem. What I want to do now for this part of our video is to just go over some words that you might see in some word problems that are going to help you decide whether you're going to add or subtract. Your homework for tonight is going to be a little tricky because you really need to pay attention to these words to see whether you're adding or you're subtracting. So let's just take a quick look. So our addition words, meaning words that you're going to see when you have to add two numbers together, are the word join. So think about it. If I'm going to join something together, I'm putting it together. Same thing with combined. So when you join something or combine something, you're putting something together. This word here is an important word. If it says to you, what's the sum? Well, the word sum, not S-O-M-E, but S-U-M, is the answer to an addition problem. So I might say to you, okay, what is the sum of 7 plus 7? So I'm asking you, what's the answer in this addition sentence? So that's what the word sum means. But again, if you see that, you know you're adding. Same thing with total, and we've seen these ones a lot, all together and in all. And again, if you see the word plus, you know that you're adding. So all of these words help to make you see that you're going to be putting two parts together to get your total. So you're adding. Now, on the opposite end, we have our subtraction words. So the first word I'm going to show you is the word difference. Now, just like over here, the word sum is the total of the addition sentence. The answer to your subtraction sentence is called a difference, okay? So if they ask you, what's the difference? That means that they're looking for the answer to a subtraction problem. Now, how many are left? Well, if you hear how many are left, then again, you're going to be looking to see how many did I start with, how many did I take out, and then what am I left with? So that alone should tell you that you're separating. So if you're separating, then that means that you're subtracting, okay? How many you have left, how many do you have remaining, means the same thing. If I have, like, say, 10 M&Ms, and I give some away, or I gave some away, you know that you're left with another part. That means, again, subtraction. How many more? So if I had 10 green M&Ms and I had 8 yellow M&Ms, I could say, how many more green did I have than yellow? And again, to find that out, I have to subtract. And then you'll hear the words take away, and you'll see the word fewer. So all of these words mean to subtract. You, again, have to read what the question is asking you, and we're going to go over that in the next section. Let's get started with our lesson. Today it's going to be really important that you stay with me and we really talk through these problems. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this problem, and then I'm just going to change a few words in this problem to see how we can do it a little differently. Okay? So this one says, Jaden found some shells at the beach. He gave 8 to his brother. He has 9 shells left. How many shells did he find at the beach? So how do we figure out how many he found at the beach? What is it that we're looking for, I guess is the question, right? So what are we going to do? Well, first of all, let's cross out our C and circle our numbers, because we know we have 8 that he gave to his brother, and he has 9 now. Okay, so we're looking to see how many did he have to start with and before he broke them apart. Okay, so then we need to underline our important word. Let's look into the question. How many shells did he find at the beach? So what do you think the important word is? I'm thinking the word shells, right? Because it doesn't tell us how many that he had to begin with. It didn't say how many he had at the end. It didn't say how many he gave his brother. It just wants to know how many shells did he have before he started giving them away. Okay? So we're going to cross off the U. Now we're going to box our question. kind of a goofy box. And now we're going to go ahead and solve our problem. So let's stop and think what it is that we're doing. We have 8 that his brother has, and we have 9 that he still has. So we're looking for the total of what he started with. So let's take a look at our number bond first. So we know that his brother B, his brother was given 8, and we know that he has, I'm going to put an H here for has, 9. So if I punch the bigger number and count up, we should come up with the total of what he started with. So we're going to punch 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17 here is the answer I came up with. So now, let's draw it and see what we can come up with. So we said that his brother had been given 8. So let's go ahead and draw the 8 in the 10 frame. Okay? Now, we need to draw the 9 that Jaden had left. So we're going to draw those with X's. And I have to start filling in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you'll notice that what I did was I did the same thing on the outside. I pretended that this was another 10 frame. And I only had 5 on top and then the rest went on the bottom. So I have a full 10 frame here, which is 10, plus my 7 over here. 10, 7 is 17. So what we're saying is that Jaden had 17 shells, and then he gave 8 of them to his brother, which left 9 for him. So let's take a look at what our number sentence is. Our number sentence is 8 plus 9, and again, that gave us 17. And lastly, how many shells did he find at the beach? We're going to say he found 17 shells. And we're going to put the 17 here and cross that out. Okay? Now hold on, we're going to change this up. I just changed a couple of words in our problem, so let's read it now. Jaden found 17 shells at the beach. He gave 8 to his brother. How many shells does he have left? Do you see how I changed it? So now, instead of looking for our total, we are given our total, we're looking for a part. So let's circle our numbers. So we know that we had 17 that they started with, and he gave his brother 8, so we can cross off the C. Now, do you see a familiar word from part 2 that is in the question? How many shells does he have left? Hear it? Left. So, underline left, and then we're going to box our question. How many shells does he have left? And now we can go ahead and solve it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that 17 and we're going to draw that first. So we're going to draw it the 10 frame, like a 10 frame. And then again, we draw the 7 outside just as if it's a part of another 10 frame. Now, we have the 8 that he gave his brother. Well, I have 7 on the outside. Can I take 8 from 7? No. So I have to take it from over here. So I'm going to go ahead and cross off my 8. And then I'm going to box what I have left. So I have 2 here plus the 7 I have on the outside. So again, I'm going to punch my bigger number, 7, 8, 9. So I believe my answer is going to be 9. Now, if you remember correctly, in our last problem, we had 8 that he gave his brother, and he had 9 that were left. And then we were trying to figure out the 17. So do you see how we're using the same numbers? We're still using 8, we're still using 9, we're still using 17. So that kind of tells us that our answer is right. Let's move on, though. So now we know our total number of shells. So we're going to label that S for shells is 17. We know that his brother had 8. So we're looking to see how many Jaden had left. So I can do one of two things. I can punch 17, count backwards 8, or I can punch 8 and count up to 17. In this case, I'm going to punch 17 and count backwards 8. So I'm going to go 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. And I came up with 9 again. So do you see how my answers are the same? Okay, so far we're on the right track. Now, let's again write our number sentence based on what the picture and what the word said. It said he found 17, and then he gave his brother 8. So that means we have to take the 8 out of there, which is going to leave us with the 9 that he has left. And to answer the question, we're going to say he has 9 shells. And you have to make sure that your answer matches the other answers you got in your boxes. And there's your answer. So you can see that just changing a few words in your problem changes the whole way you have to attack the problem. Okay, so you're going to be on page 75 for your homework, and let's take a look at what the problem says. Rose drew 7 pictures and Willie drew 11 pictures. How many did they draw all together? So let's go ahead and circle our numbers, the 7 and the 11, and cross off your C. Now, do you see a magic word in there, a key word, an important word? Yes, you should see the word all together. So go ahead and underline that, cross off your U, then go ahead and box your question. And now we're ready to solve this problem. So, what does all together tell you you're going to do? That's right, it tells you you're going to add. Now, a couple things I want to tell you is this. We have the number 7 and we have the numbers 11. Do we need to necessarily draw the 7 first because it came first in the word problem? No. So what you can do is you can always draw the bigger number first, which sometimes is easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 11 first. So go ahead and do this with me. So we're going to draw 5 on top, 5 on the bottom, and then we're going to put a box around that, and then the 1 over here, because we know 10, 1 is 11. Now we need to draw 7. Now remember, you can only have 5 on the top, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 10 over here plus how many over here? Well, we just drew 7 and we had 1 more. 7 plus 1 is 8. So 10, 8 is 18. You got it. Okay? Now we're going to do our number bond. Our number bond is pretty easy because we know we have the 2 parts. We have Rose's drawings, which are 7. We have Willie's drawings, which are 11. If we punch 11 and count up 7, you should get your 18. So we have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we have 18. So go ahead and put the 18 here and 18 here. And now we have to do our number sentence. So what did we draw first? We drew 11 plus we drew 7 more. And we came up with 18. Go ahead and put a box around that and put that here. And lastly, we need to write our statement. How many did they draw all together? We're going to say they drew 18. Put a period there, and there's your answer. If you have any problems, make sure you get a hold of your teacher, and make sure your parents send in your work to us. Good luck with this.